Now, the way everybody's talking about the North Division, you would think it was a beer league, wouldn't you? Everybody, oh, the North Division is a joke with this and that. And look, the defense in the North Division, while it might not be top tier, it's also not your uncle's beer league, okay? It's still NHL quality, and there are some really good players in this division. And I want to talk today about which teams I personally think are going to make the playoffs and miss the playoffs, because this is a tighter race than people think. I know there's games in hand and things like that, but because every night is a 4-point game and these teams literally only play against each other, we know that this is going to be a tight race, and I want to talk about it. Let's go. First of all, let's get the two obvious ones out of the way. Toronto, you're guaranteed. You've basically almost booked your one-way ticket to the playoffs. It would be so funny if they collapsed, though. But no, the Leafs, they're going to make it. They're a good team. Of course, for them, the question is, can you make some noise in the playoffs, win a round or two or three, and dare I say, or four. But the Leafs are good enough. They're going to make the playoffs. And honestly, that first place spot is theirs to lose. On the other end of the spectrum, staying in Ontario, the Ottawa Senators, I'm sorry, you're not going to make the playoffs. And you know it. Come on, Sens fans. But some very, very promising hockey being played by the Ottawa Senators. They've spanked my Flames a few times here. They've showed some fight. Now is for them, that's all you can do. Okay, outwork teams, show some fight, keep developing your skill. This team is more skilled than people think. You've got guys like Stutzla, Brady Tkachuk. Okay, he doesn't have stone hands. Who else? Drake Batherson has some skill. Thomas Chabot is an amazing defenseman on the back end there. This team will be good, and sooner than people think. But for right now, it's a development year. Take it as that. Try to win when you can. Play hard every night or close to every night. And just keep improving and developing. All right, now moving on to the juicy section. Okay, the first team that I think is going to miss is the Vancouver Canucks. I know they beat the Leafs a few days ago. They're playing better, but I just don't see it. I don't see it, and it's weird because last year this team was very close to going to the conference finals, and I don't know. I don't know what happened, but since they lost Tanev and they lost Markstrom, I don't know if you can attribute an entire season being lost to just losing Markstrom, Tanev, Stetcher, Toffoli. Like, did that really put you guys from being close to cup contenders to now in rebuild mode, sort of, so to speak? So I don't know what's up with them. Yes, they are playing better lately, but still very inconsistent, up and down. It'll be interesting to see what the Canucks do, because it's getting close to time when you got to pay Pettersson, you got to pay Quinn Hughes. Okay, it's getting close now. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do, especially with the coach too. Okay, we know that they're most likely not going to fire Travis Green. He's a very good coach, and Jim Benning said that he's going to be wanting to extend Travis Green here, but is Jim Benning even going to be here to extend Travis Green at all? I mean, like, who knows? So we'll see what the Aquilinis and the Canucks are ready to do here, but I'm sorry, I don't see you guys in the playoffs. So I've given you two teams now in a row that I think are going to miss and one team that's going to make. Let's talk about the Winnipeg Jets now, who surprised me. Okay, at the beginning of the season when I was making my predictions, I did not think the Jets were going to be that good. I watched them in the play-in round. Yes, they were missing Scheifele, but I said, okay, their defense is pretty weak. They're not going to go anywhere. Man, did they prove me wrong. Connor Hellebuck and this entire squad is playing really, really good. And this team, man, they could maybe make some noise. And I'm surprising myself to say that, but the Winnipeg Jets, a lot of people are sleeping on them. They might be one of the most underrated teams in the league here. They're really good. And it'll be interesting to see what they do when they start playing in the playoffs, and maybe if they can make it to play against some other American teams. Right now, it's crazy to say, but I think the Leafs' biggest and toughest competition might be the Winnipeg Jets. Alright, we're getting to the nitty-gritty now, and this is where it gets tough, okay? Because there's two spots left in the playoffs and three teams. The Montreal Canadiens, the Edmonton Oilers, and the Calgary Flames. And the more I watch these teams, the closer I think they are. Like, the Flames are so inconsistent, okay? So wildly inconsistent. But they just got Daryl Sutter, and we know what Daryl Sutter is. He's a hard ass. He's going to come in, and he's going to try to get the most out of everybody. There's going to be no playing around, okay? Daddy's home when it comes to the Calgary Flames. Party's over. So that might help them out to make a push for one of those playoff spots. Now, last week, if you would have asked me, I would have said the Edmonton Oilers, they're locked. They're guaranteed a playoff spot. They were playing so good across the lineup. McDavid and Draisaitl were getting help. It was kumbaya. The defense was playing better. But now that they've lost 3 straight to the Leafs, they look like a completely different squad. And this is being recorded before the Battle of Alberta tonight. Flames-Oilers. Really interesting to see what's going to happen with the Oilers. To me right now, call me crazy, I think the Oilers are going to make it. I do. I think Draisaitl and McDavid are going to break out of this slump here. They're going to go crazy. Bananas get 15 points or whatever. But I think the Oilers are going to make it. I think in the grand scheme of things, their defense is good. And hopefully they can get some help from the secondary scoring in the lineup, the second, third, fourth lines. Okay, that's what they need right now. They need guys like Archibald, guys like Jujhar Khaira, James Neal, Chiasson. These guys need to step up and help. Kyle Turris is a big one. And in net, who knows, man? I think that Stalock pick might end up being a very, very good one for the Oilers. Because, I mean, to me, Smith and Koskinen, you might be able to squeak in with those two, but having Stalock there as a safety net is a huge move for the Oilers. I think they're going to squeeze into the playoffs. And that only leaves one spot between the Montreal Canadiens and the Calgary Flames. Who's going to get that last playoff spot? According to me, Flames are my number 1 team here. I'm saying it's the Montreal Canadiens, and it breaks my heart to say that. I mean, I love the Habs, but the Flames, even with Daryl Sutter, I don't know. I really don't know here. And the Habs, I think, yes, they're slumping, but I do think that Bergevin is not done making moves. That's a big thing here. And I know you got the quarantine, and it's a very different year. I think Bergevin is going to make some more moves to help out the Habs, whether it be on the back end with a guy like Matthias Ekholm, whether it be up front with a guy like Taylor Hall maybe. I think they're going to be making some moves. And the Flames, there's just too much inconsistency here. I mean, Daryl Sutter, prove me wrong. I hope you can get the most out of a 37-year-old Mark Giordano, who has not looked the same, in the past couple of years, since winning his Norris Trophy, to be honest with you. Rasmus Andersson has been disappointing this year. I honestly thought he was going to take the step to be the number 1 defenseman on this team. Juuso Välimäki, lots of pressure on him. He's a young guy still learning the ropes in one of the toughest jobs in the NHL, a regular NHL defenseman. And up front, they might have a chance to make the playoffs if Sutter can get the most out of guys like Tkachuk, who's had a rough start to the season. Lindholm, who is probably pound for pound the best Calgary Flames forward two-way, not just offensively. That would be Johnny Gaudreau. We'll get to him in a minute. But I think Lindholm is the best all-around forward. If he can get the most out of Backlund, And then the plumbers, guys like Josh Levo, Dominic Simone, Derek Ryan, even a guy like Brett Ritchie who steps in the other night. You need to get a lot out of these guys. And if that happens, and you get Jacob Markstrom back playing to the best of his capabilities, having a Vezina-type season, then maybe the Flames can squeak in. But I don't know if I see it. It'll be close. But I do think the Habs are going to take that playoff spot over the Flames. All right, guys, I can't do it for me on this one. That's my list. I got the Leafs, I got the Jets, the Oilers, and the Montreal Canadiens making the playoffs. Let me know what yours is. Give me your top 4 in the comments down below. You know I'll be reading them. If you want more hockey content every day, make sure you like, subscribe, hit that bell, and I'll see you in the next one.